Welcome back, guys. I'm Valen.
And I'm Theo.
And today we'll be watching Yellow Recording Behind. Woo!
I wonder why they never, ever within K-pop write behind the scenes. You think it's because then they're just gonna like shorten it to BTS and everyone's just gonna be confused?
It's just like maybe too long. Behind the scenes is too long.
And if they write BTS...
Yeah.
You know.
Before BTS was big, everything was BTS. Now because BTS exists, then nobody writes BTS anymore.
There's like gonna be like comments like why
what?
are you writing BTS just to get clout and try to get famous off of BTS's name? It's so annoying when people do that.
Or it's just like it is a little bit of like what is it? Confusion. It does cause confusion among K-pop fans.
No, I get it.
What's happening?
I get it, but at the end of the day,
now
it is what it is.
Behind.
But let's do it. Let's get behind the recording of Yellow. Cool song, by the way.
Awesome song.
But before we begin, make sure to like the video if you enjoy our content and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of us. And last, but certainly not least, we already have so much treasure content over on Patreon. We got album reaction and reviews, really diving in and analyzing Treasure's discography over on Patreon. We got funny moments over on Patreon, checking out Treasure's personality. We also just started with Treasure's variety content over on Patreon. We also got concert performances from Treasure, live performances, its lives, dance practices, relay dances, and so much more Treasure content is also available over on Patreon. So if that's something you want to check out, then make sure to head on over to Patreon. And again, there's new Treasure content coming out over on Patreon basically every single week. So again, if you want to check that out, make sure to head on over to Patreon. And if nothing else, let's do it. Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Yeah, I read that Asahi was the one who made the song.
안녕하세요.
Makes sense. He's a very
쓰고 싶은 노래 분위기 머리에
passionate
있어서
musician.
새로운 노래를 만들어 보겠습니다.
It does kind of sound like it.
Yeah. Yellow Days.
오늘 쓰려고 하는데 사랑의 따뜻함, 처음에 설렘.
Damn, it's like September last year.
나왔는데
That's how it usually goes.
Makes sense.
When it comes to from a song first gets created till its release, a lot of the time that can take a whole year.
Yeah.
Because like imagine you're building the album up, you're really figuring out which songs you want to add to it, etc. That's a long process. People forget that sometimes. Sometimes a song can come into, I guess, creation and get released within a couple of days, but sometimes, especially within K-pop, where
It's
you
a
know
long time.
everything requires a lot of preparation, it can take a while.
That's why the inspiration.
노란색을 보면 뭔가
Like
It is a
bunch of
warm
things.
color.
It is.
기쁘고 행복하고 그런 이미지가 있어서
Cute.
It's got so many instruments in this place.
1차 녹음을 해보겠습니다. 너를 만나 시작됐어 나의 사랑의
Oh,
Oh,
I love
that's
this song
beautiful.
so much.
Damn, that was like a non-auto-tuned Asahi right here. That was
Yeah.
just beautiful.
Beautiful.
What
His
a
voice
beautiful
is
vocal.
Awesome.
He does.
Yeah.
So bright and beautiful.
Now it's October.
오늘 또 노래가 완성이 될 것 같아가지고 뒷부분만 들려드릴게요.
What is that? Is it Studio One?
I can't tell if this is Studio One. I don't actually think it is, but it looks a lot like it.
It looks a lot like it.
It looks a lot like
Maybe
it,
it's a
but
new
it's kind of
version.
like a weird version of Studio One because usually there's nothing white up here. I can't tell.
Maybe it's
I don't think this. It doesn't look like Pro Tools either.
No.
I think it might be Ableton. I think it might be Ableton because I barely ever look at tutorials from Ableton. Almost everything I look at is either FL Studio, which is like one of the biggest ones for music production, or it ends up being Studio One or Pro Tools. I very rarely look at anything from Ableton, but it might just
I
be
have
Ableton.
no idea.
Because usually
This
everybody just
studio
does
is
everything within
so
Pro Tools.
Pretty. This studio is awesome.
It's so charming.
Someday we'll have a studio like that. It's so pretty.
Also, notice these like old synths he has over here. It's like a really retro synth right here. I wonder if they actually use those for the songs themselves.
I don't know.
Because it's kind of uncommon to see people actually use those like retro synthesizers within the song itself. I feel like it's more for like enthusiasts. Because the thing is, it's much easier. It's much easier to just like have all of those like programs already within your computer, because you can much easily like tweak everything you recorded in comparison to with one of these synths.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Yeah, yellow.
지금 이런 느낌.
Yeah.
I really like the vibe.
막 이런 거 하면서 슬쩍 노란색으로 바뀌면서 딱
It's
그런
cute.
그림까지 보이긴 하거든요. 저는.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It is.
For
It
a
has that
concert,
vibe.
It has the vibe of Treasure.
B flat 메이저에다가
I love how they're showing the whole process.
whole
Guys, this is so cool. I
Yeah.
absolutely love what's going on here. We're seeing not only just, sometimes I feel like the recording behind, right?
It's only
that is essentially just literally the recording process, but they don't show how the song was created, etc. And in many cases, I also think that's because they bought a demo.
Because they bought the demo, yeah.
So there is really no
In
creation
this,
process.
there is creation because
Exactly. That is so cool.
I like that they're showing it.
Yeah.
안녕하세요. 녹음하기 전에 인기는
I think this is the smartest thing to do as well.
Yes.
You know, to have the members themselves create the songs.
Of course.
It creates more consistency too throughout their whole discography.
Yeah.
한번 해볼게.
이런 감정 다셨습니다. 이런 감정 익숙하지 다셨습니다.
Cute.
숨이 살짝 그건가?
지금 약간 심장이 너무 뛰어가지고.
He's nervous.
Why?
괜찮냐?
한번 해보겠습니다.
Aw. Why is he nervous?
Yeah.
이런 감정 익숙하지 않아 서툴렀던 날.
이런 감정 여기를 약간 좀 계단 약간 올라가는 느낌. 땡땡땡땡땡. 그리고 이게서 호흡으로 밀어주는 느낌.
오케이. 이런 감정 익숙하지 않아 서툴렀던 날.
이런
True,
식으로
it's
계속
cute.
오케이.
That is a better way of doing it,
Yeah.
kind of emphasizing that.
Yeah.
You should like
이런 감정
builds.
Yeah.
익숙하지 않아 서툴렀던 날.
This is when like magic happens essentially, when you both have like someone in the studio itself, in the actual recording booth, wanting to do, you know, their best. I mean, you can clearly see he's
course.
nervous, what have you, and also a producer or an instructor, someone who also has that vision.
Yeah.
And those two people
It's
can
awesome.
work together and really create the best, I guess, content and product at
Yes,
the end of the day.
exactly.
That's great, because sometimes you yourself, you don't really hear certain things, you don't really realize certain things.
Of
So it's so
course.
good that there are several people who are
Yeah.
like working
Well,
on
of
it.
course.
Right.
익숙하지 않아 서툴렀던 날.
그런 식으로 계속 하면 될 것 같아요. 좋은 것 같아. 좀 좋았어.
수고하셨습니다.
Okay.
오케이. 느낌 살려서 뒤로 살게요.
You can see, I think here on the right, this fine gentleman here, this is the recording engineer.
Yeah, yeah.
And while it seems like the recording engineer is the one doing more of the, you know, technical stuff, right? Like taking the takes that you need and
Exactly.
putting them in the right places, making the whole process as smooth as possible. Asahi here is kind of doing another part of the job that would in many cases also be left to the recording engineer, which is to direct him.
Yeah,
at
he's
the same
like the
time.
director.
Yeah, there's both a director and a recording
Exactly.
engineer. In many cases, you only see a recording engineer
Yeah.
doing both things, essentially.
오케이. 느낌 살려서
It's because he's the producer. He
Right.
wants to be there.
Or the recording engineer sometimes doesn't do anything,
Yeah.
depending on the artist.
나 진짜 이렇게 녹아.
Rainbow 중에 yellow 너와 사랑을 겠어. It's love.
Late into the night.
Damn.
좀 넘어. 아, 좀 넘어.
Let's record again.
Damn. That's great though.
That's great.
There's that passion. You know, it doesn't matter if it's like 2 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock at night. If you have that passion, just go for it. That's the most important part by far.
Exactly.
Like for sure.
That's awesome.
Nothing else really matters in that regard. As long as you're just in there, you're feeling it, that's when the magic happens.
Yes.
Right? That's for sure. It doesn't matter the time.
Cute.
너의 의도하는 바가 뭐야?
진짜 좋고 싶은데 진짜 한 3번만?
너 하고 싶으면 뭐몇 번이든 해도 된다.
그날부터 지금까지 마저 못했었던 말 이건 너한테만 하는 얘기 이런 감정 익숙하지 않아서 둘렀던 나 그 어떤 미래도 저 멀리 있는 미래에도
오케이. 고생했어.
Damn, in one go. God damn.
And also for the people who don't know, by the way, if you're wondering what this funny circular thing here is, that's a pop filter.
It's like
we
this.
have the same on our microphone here, and it essentially makes those poof sounds better. Like less in your face,
Exactly.
less uncomfortable. Like try to do that into your own like microphone or something, and you'll notice those sounds really
bad.
suck. Yeah, and you can't get them out.
No.
익숙하지 않아서 두르지 마
You gotta warm up your vocal.
Ooh.
That's a good way of doing it.
이런 설렘 익숙하지 않아서 두르지만 내가 옆에 있어줄 수 있기
뛰는 느낌.
원래 형이가 다 이어서 부르는데 지금 굉장히 신경 써서 끊고 부르긴 하는데 좀 더 리듬을 살릴게
액센트 좀 과하게 한번 해봐도 될 것 같아요.
좀 더 과하게? 이런 설렘 익숙하지 않아서 두르지만
It's true. It sounds so good.
See?
좀더 빼야 되는 거잖아
Wow.
우리 말이
Sometimes you need some help
One. Yeah.
않아서 두르지만
Where's that?
from a visionary
It's
like I say.
YG. They better have a lot of people to help you.
이때 참 파트 있거든요.
어어
Oh, the whole outro.
Yeah, it's cute.
Or is it a bridge? I don't remember.
I don't remember. It's like a bridge.
Yeah, it's a bridge because there's still one more
Yeah.
chorus after.
Yeah.
이때 참 약간 다 힘이 없어 보이죠. It's love 막 이런 것도 넣고 하면.
괜찮을 것 같아. 그런 거 많이 넣으면은.
네네네. 형 뭐 되는 거 있으면은 다른 것도 받아놓고 하긴 하는데.
원장 되고 여성 되고 어린아이 되고 주문 넣어도 바로
신나는 느낌?
It's love 이 정도? 아, 오케이 오케이
그런 것도 좋아.
오케이 오케이 It's love It's love
That is actually a really great
Yeah,
way to just
that's
like
great.
essentially make any element of a song feel bigger, give it some depth, just add a harmony vocal.
Exactly.
That's what we're seeing here. So having somebody with range who can get
That's
up to a little
awesome.
bit of a higher register, well, that's always a blessing
Exactly.
because that's something a lot of songs definitely
This is so
benefit from.
cute. I love this.
It's love
형 하얘 진성은 안 되잖아요.
It's love.
되지요
Oh.
오
가자.
It's love
Oh.
It's love
That's not a falsetto though. It's just a kind of a high note.
They yeah, it's a high note. They're happy even after being together for so many years. They're still amazed. They're so
That's cute. They're very supportive.
They
also.
are. Aww.
Aw, it's a
Cute.
size song, so you gotta do the best.
Cute. The main vocalist.
This is more of a falsetto.
Yeah, this falsetto.
The other thing was just a high note, kind of. Or singing the higher register.
It's love
True, it's perfect.
It's love 내 곁에 머물러 있어줘 너라는 색으로
이제 그 완급 조절 도영이가 더 이렇게 끝냈잖아.
도영이 형은 이렇게 이제 약하게 했는데 제가 여기서 이제 약하게 들어갔다가 세게 해도 해야 되는 거잖아요.
그거예요.
그거야.
그러니까 이게
너만 할 수 있는 거야.
몇 개 해볼게요.
내 곁에 머물러 있어줘 너라는 색으로.
좋다.
내 미소를 처음 본 그날에 마음이 물드는 게 느껴졌어. 너를 만나 시작됐어 나의 사랑의 계절. 우리 사랑은 계속해서 yellow.
이거다.
이거
Eh, such a great song. The rap line.
They're so done. Wonder if this is like 5 o'clock in the morning or
I
something.
started exercising again. Oh my god, it's us. It's
Relatable.
really relatable. You're like, oh.
One thing that's also interesting here is you can see that the recording engineer also talked about the dynamics, and it is important. I mean, dynamics can mean a lot of different things, but as he was also talking about here, it is important to essentially have a song where there are both high points and also
Yeah,
low points,
yeah, yeah,
especially when it's so varied and there's so much stuff going on. You want essentially the whole thing to kind of like feel like a big roller coaster. So the parts that are also, I guess, more dramatic feel dramatic.
Feel
You get me?
dramatic,
If the whole
exactly.
thing is just throughout the whole thing,
Like, yeah.
kind of very upbeat
Then
and also
it's-
emotionally they're just like going all out, it almost seems unnatural as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
first of all, you don't really appreciate those high points, and it also just feels unnatural, because imagine if someone was like performing this from start till end.
Like that.
No one can do that. You get me?
Yeah.
No one can have that much power for 3 or 4 minutes straight. So essentially you want to kind of simulate that in the recording by also, you know, you sounding like in parts of it, you're getting more space to breathe, sounding more, I guess, just calm.
Exactly.
Because in any live performance, that's also how it would sound.
Exactly.
You get me?
It's
I mean,
perfect.
technically, if you're recording in a studio, every single line can sound like super powerful, but no one can do that live.
Yeah.
Or
No, and
probably
another-
someone, but
And another
most people
thing
can't.
that I really like is like the showing. Like
Yeah.
people, they're not like blurring
No,
the faces of like
The recording engineer.
the recording engineers
No.
and all that. I like that.
It's
I
true,
like that.
actually, yeah.
I really like that.
너덜너덜하고
No,
전신을 해서 지금 다리가 너덜너덜.
Full body workout
I agree with that.
몸이 너덜.
and core exercise.
Yeah, it is hard. That's for
Well,
sure.
at least he's doing it. It's healthy. It's good for him.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him. He can't even get up.
오케이.
He's so cooked. Damn. But they actually are blurring a couple of staff members.
Yeah.
현석이 아이들.
But still not everyone.
No.
내 맘에 당한 색칠 첫눈에 반했다고 you know what it is okay. 내 맘에 당한 색칠
Yeah.
첫눈에 반했다고
You know what it is.
Black, yellow 한 두 개 하나 더
3개 더 하세요.
첫눈에 반했다고
You know what it is.
Black, 첫눈에 반했다고
You know what it is.
Black, yellow.
하는 거.
It's smart that they're actually recording the chant vocal as an
this.
actual chant.
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
heck?
That's awesome.
That's kind of rare.
Yeah,
Most of
it
the
is
time,
rare.
you record them one by one and then you mix them together. But in this case, they're actually recording them as proper chants. That
Yeah,
is
this
so
is
cool.
rare, but
I like that
it.
though.
I like it.
You know what it is.
Black, yellow.
하는 거 있어?
첫눈에 반했다고
You know what it is.
Black, yellow.
Ooh.
Okay, 내 맘에 당한 색칠 첫눈에 반했다고 you know what it is Black, yellow.
저는 이 만족입니다, 형.
I like it. I like it. I like the chant. Goes hard. Has a kind of retro hip hop sound.
뒤쪽에 해줘? 아니면 처음부터 줘?
뒤쪽에
Executive producer. Ooh.
사랑을 하게 된
Oh my god, he's here. Now it's scary.
리더가 생겼으면 좋겠어. 리더.
Oh, it's YG.
Oh my god, it's YG himself.
Himself.
Damn. That's the
That's
true
scary.
executive producer
Yeah.
right here. Okay.
Hell
but it
no.
makes sense that he cares. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. This is the lead single, I suppose,
Yeah, it is.
for their mini album. It makes sense that YG himself is going to come in and check, like, yo, what's actually going on?
Exactly.
But I wonder if they actually knew this was going to be the lead single at the time.
Probably.
Are you
or
sure?
no? Maybe not. Maybe
Because
they
if
were
you
like
buy the songs, right, then I can imagine somebody's almost like assembling the album
Exactly.
before everything
True,
like
maybe
happens.
they
But in
didn't
this
know.
case, it's just kind of like happening as it happens.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Of course, there was a demo, but nonetheless,
모두 리더 하고 그
사랑을 알게 된
it's more
건
organic, I imagine.
그렇죠. 모두 리더.
사랑을 알게 된 건 모두 니적 넌 내게 기적.
난 이런 플로가 좋아. 이런 바운스 훨씬 좋아.
네, 저도 좋은 것 같아요.
루트야 나가야 돼. 들어가 수고했어.
I like how nobody argues with YG. It's like,
Yeah.
flow needs to be bouncier. I agree. Immediately. But who can, like, it's YG.
Yeah.
He knows what he's
He has
doing.
a lot of experience. That's for sure.
오늘로써 옐로우 녹음이
Damn.
끝났습니다.
Nice.
처음에는 수록곡이었거든요. 이렇게 타이틀곡으로
I told you, see,
Now.
as I imagined.
Yeah.
And here you can see, by the way, look.
Right.
This is obviously Pro Tools. This is good old-fashioned
okay,
Pro
okay,
Tools.
okay.
I legitimately couldn't tell
Okay.
which program Asahi was working on before, but this is definitely Pro Tools.
Yeah, this
it
is-
has this kind of like silver look to it, which is very just like, I don't know, it's very Pro Tools, essentially. And if you guys wonder what Pro Tools is, it's the most commonly used digital audio workstation within studios, like actual big studios. It's not necessarily better or worse than other DAWs. It's essentially just, I don't know why. I guess like I think it was one of the first
It
ones.
has happened.
It just kind of happened over time.
Yeah.
It managed to become the biggest one, and then everybody kind of wanted that because that made the workflow easier. So in that way, if you're sending your project file also, you know, everybody else can open it much easier because
Yeah,
everyone is
yeah.
working within Pro Tools. But it's kind of changing. I actually
Yeah?
feel like a lot of people are now moving away from Pro Tools and using other softwares as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, it is till this day the most common.
부담도 사실 있었는데 근데 멤버들이 녹음을 잘해줘가지고
옐로짱.
It is a good song.
트레저가 가지고 있는 에너지, 사랑,
I wonder why they're actually still recording in
요소들이
vocal
잘
booths. Have you noticed that?
What do you mean?
Almost everyone within K-pop records in vocal booths.
Yeah.
These smaller
Why?
rooms.
Why?
Well, there's a lot of people, there's kind of like a big discussion about it, but a lot of people nowadays are just thinking vocal booths don't make any sense.
Really?
Yeah, that they
Why?
actually harm the vocal energy in the
Then
actual
where
recording.
is better?
Well, again, that's an argument that a lot of audio nerds have been having for a long time. But it seems like the consensus within K-pop is to record it in a vocal booth.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's just interesting for me.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Maybe it's also because there's always so many people in the actual like studio behind, as you can see with all the staff and
Yeah,
what
yeah.
have you, that it's just better. Because imagine if someone is like making some noises and stuff,
Yeah,
it could
it's not good.
potentially ruin a recording that was really
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
So they just prefer keeping it in the vocal booth. But yeah, actually, a lot of people think that vocal booths are not the best place to record. Because if it's too small of a room, the reflections end up either sounding bad or whatever reflections are there can be kind of like low end heavy, which essentially makes the vocal sound less bright.
I get it.
And also sometimes because, you know, these studio like booths can also be very dead sounding. Like you enter there
Yes, dead.
and there's like no room sound at all.
Exactly.
That can sometimes also be seen as a bad thing. That the room can
But
be
I
too
think-
dead.
But I think they know what they're doing. 100%.
They're
I think they have
definitely.
make it
But my
very
point
good.
is, it's an argument.
It's an argument,
It's
yeah.
a argument within the industry.
I get it.
And it seems like within K-pop, they're very much like deciding upon keeping the vocal booth.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
들어간 노래이지 않나.
Because originally, I just want to give you like a little bit more history actually on this topic, just for a split second. Originally, vocal booths existed because everything was being recorded at the same time. You know, like
Yeah, it's
there
true.
were so many different booths,
True.
and to not like interfere too much with each other's very sensitive microphones, everybody had a booth.
Yeah,
but
true.
nowadays, since like you're only recording one at a time, there's really no reason
Yeah,
to have
there's
a
no
booth.
reason, you're
so that's
right.
like why people started to use booths. It's not because it had the best sound. It
I
was
get it.
because you didn't want other people's
Huh.
sound interfering with you. You get me?
have no idea.
So yeah, it's an argument
Yeah,
essentially
exactly.
going on.
Yeah. Who
에너지,
knows?
사랑, 행복 이런 요소들이 잘 들어간 노래이지 않나.
True. It's so cute. Yellow is so pretty. No.
Cute.
Cute.
Well-
I wonder if there's a last night. recording behind?
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be so cool. Tell us in the comments.
Well, until now,
wanna
Yellow
watch
has gotten
that.
a great reception. So I'm happy that this had
It's a
a
great
happy
song.
ending.
It's such
I
a
like
pretty
it.
song.
It is.
Asahi did a great job. It's so cute. It's
It
true.
is.
It's perfect for Treasure
Totally.
and their concerts as well. It's so pretty.
It's very sweet,
so sweet.
isn't it?
Wow.
I also kind of like see some of the Japanese influences shine through in
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Because like the Japanese J-pop industry also loves very sweet and cute sounding songs.
Yeah.
And Treasure also happens to have a huge Japanese following. So I'm sure it's both going to go over well with the rest of their following and definitely also their Japanese following. And I liked it. I thought
Korean.
it was really cute.
Yeah.
Korean. Oh yeah, it's still a big thing within Korea, but I still want to say in J-pop it's still more common, these like
It
super
is
sweet
more
cute
common.
sounds.
Yeah. So cute.
Definitely. Nonetheless, everyone, we hope you found our commentary, analysis, reaction to the Yellow Days, episode 2, Yellow recording behind. Interesting. Like the video if you enjoy our content. Comment down below what you thought about our video. And last but not least, make sure to head on over to Patreon and check out all our Treasure content over there. There's new Treasure content coming out over on Patreon basically every single week. And that's also the best way to support the channel. And if nothing else, see you in the next one.
Bye bye, guys. Take care.
Annyeong. Bye, guys. Take care.